and a very good morning to you. You're watching Times Now Live. I'm Pratibha and focus on the BJP that has just released a manifesto for Himachal Pradesh. A lot of promises that have been made. Also a promise of uniform civil code as well as a survey in the Waqf boards. Promises also being made for the farmers, a big chunk of it also being for the women voters. So how does that fare out? Remember, in Himachal, it's going to be a prestige battle for the BJP. The state never really votes back an incumbent, but this time around, the BJP aims to create history. This manifesto being released just a day after the Congress party also released its own manifesto. Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava and R. Rajagopalan joining us on the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us. Mr. Rajagopalan, I want to ask you first, how do you look at the manifesto that has been released by the BJP? Which do you think are the key takeaways?
Manifesto. There are 11 commitments. My understanding is that, the Uniform Civil Code is going to create a major impact in the politics of Himachal Pradesh. And second thing, the Sakti Karan of 12,000 rupees, they said for 10 years in Tirath circuit. GST payment for Apple, government subsidizes that. 900 crores for corpus fund for startup. These are all certain, thought-provoking and, very interesting manifesto. I am very sure that it is going to create a massive impact despite this Congress, which was a very hollow manifesto yesterday, what it issued. But BJP manifesto, 11 commitments are very promising, and special manifesto for women, which also has 11 commitments, is also very interesting. Therefore, I say BJP has, at the national level, decentralized the UCC. That is why every state...
a lot to discuss. So according to you, the Uniform Civil Code is going to be the biggest talking point here. Discussing the BJP's promises in the Himachal Assembly polls. Just now the manifesto has been released by the BJP President, J P Nadda. Big promises have been made. Mr. Rajagopalan and Sanjeev Srivastava on the broadcast with us. Mr. Rajagopalan, you were talking about how, Uniform Civil Code is the one factor which you think is a key takeaway. Before I come to you again for, on that, I just want to take in a word from Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava as well. Mr. Srivastava, a lot of promises made for the farmers, for the women voters as well. But again, do you think the focus is going to be on the UCC and the survey on the Waqf boards?
See, I think very honestly, a BJP manifesto doesn't make much of a news or much of a promise from the voters' perspective. Because the voters in Himachal Pradesh will not judge and vote for the BJP depending on what their manifesto is. They are a party in government. They are a party in power. They'll be judged and people's preference will be shown by the way they have governed the state. If they have governed well, if people are convinced, they'll vote again. A manifesto for the ruling party really makes much, doesn't have the same kind of an impact as somebody who's a challenger. A challenger may promise the moon, but a ruling party promising whatever they want to, they first have to show what they have delivered. And we know that the track record of BJP's government in Himachal Pradesh has not been so satisfactory. They have lost bypolls in a succession. Their state unit is plagued with infighting. The only relief for them is that the Congress is doing not much better. They have their own house. They don't have their house in order. They also have infighting. But Himachal Pradesh is definitely a very keen contest, and the vote can go either way. So I was very touched with when my friend Mr. Rajagopalan was listing out all the promises made in the manifesto. And on UCC, I really don't think UCC will have much of an impact in Himachal Pradesh because it's a state which doesn't have much of a polarization. It's, at the end of the day, Uniform Civil Code is also something which cuts both ways. It's also Hindutva mobilizing kind of an issue for some. But there is hardly a minority population in Himachal Pradesh. So really, I don't know how much of an impact, but I cannot also take Mr. Rajgopalan's comment lightly. He's a veteran. He has been around even longer than me.
Yes, so let me ask him, because you mentioned that because it's a ruling dispensation, its manifesto doesn't matter much. In fact, when J P Nadda started his speech, he listed out the achievements of the BJP government. He said there were several promises that were made that have already been fulfilled. He spoke about Har Ghar Nal, Atal pension yojana and several other schemes, but you also said that there were some things that were not really promised by the government but have also been implemented. Medical colleges, he spoke about that as well. But I want to ask you, Mr. Rajagopal, and like he mentioned, it's going to be a lot on the anti-incumbency factor as well, which the BJP is also well aware of, which is why in its list, several of the sitting MLAs have also been dropped.
What you absolutely said is correct. And for the first time, I concur with my friend Sanjeev, because we have been fighting on, studios, even personal note, but our friendship remained longer. The reason being, Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava is absolutely correct. There are negative factors, there are unfulfilled promises. But that is government, Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava. You and me walk through the North Block and South Block and Parliament corridors. We know what is what exactly. Apart from that, my simple understanding is stretching it from Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Gujarat. My feeling is in 2024 Lok Sabha election manifesto, the BJP is going to have UCC as a main one. That is, they are sprinkling over states now. In Himachal Pradesh, let us see the reaction. Let us see the reaction from Gujarat. So therefore, the Himachal Pradesh election, I am sure Mr. Sanjeev Srivastava may not agree with me. BJP is returning to power with little reduced majority, because there is no Congress, there is no Aam Aadmi Party, there is no other major political opposition party. And Mr. Nadda's stake is going to be very much, claimed, because he hails from Himachal Pradesh, though he is a Bihari, half Bihari. And second thing, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has visited 8 rallies organized by Himachal Pradesh BJP. So therefore, the impact of 8 rallies are also to be there. In addition, the manifesto is going to create a buzz.
Okay.
And UCC is going to be the headlines of tomorrow daily newspapers. That is why I could make it out.
Okay, Mr. Srivastava, is the one factor that's working in favor of the BJP the fact that there is no big opposition? The Congress party, yes. This time around, in fact, the Aam Aadmi Party is also going to be in the fray. They believe that they're going to be a big factor. How do you see the Aam Aadmi Party's role really play out? Are they just going to be vote cutters for the Congress party, or will they emerge perhaps as the main opposition?
You are asking me?
No, Mr. Srivastava.
The Aam Aadmi Party, as for reasons best known to them, yes. I am saying Aam Aadmi Party has decided somewhere to cut its losses in Himachal Pradesh. It's focusing all its energy and efforts in Gujarat. What happened initially after the Punjab election results, there was a lot of buzz about Aam Aadmi Party in Himachal and that it will have an impact there. But I think the misgovernance or the events playing out in Punjab, particularly this impression that it is a little soft and Khalistanis, hasn't gone down well with Himachalis. So Aam Aadmi Party's campaign and candidates both are virtually non-starters. It's much more of a direct bipolar contest in Himachal than it is in Gujarat. Gujarat is a genuine triangular contest. Himachal is a bipolar contest.
Okay,
and
so
the only thing which I on a personal note, yes, we may have disagreed on studios, Mr. Rajgopalan, but I don't remember, my dear friend, whenever